Ladies and gentlemen, imagine your mind as a garden. In that garden, certain plants must be nurtured privately to grow strong. If you let everyone trample in, if you allow the world to meddle with the roots of your most personal values, what happens? The garden becomes chaotic, barren, unproductive. That's your life when you share everything with everyone. We live in a time where oversharing has become the norm. Social media platforms encourage it, societal trends celebrate it, and yet it often leaves us feeling exposed, vulnerable, and misunderstood. But here's the truth: not everything is meant to be shared. Some parts of you, the most sacred and integral parts, must remain yours alone. In this talk, we'll discuss 5 crucial things you must never share with anyone. These are the elements that define your identity, your resilience, and your inner peace. Ignore this advice, and you risk losing not just privacy, but the essence of who you are. Stay with me, and I'll show you why discretion is not just wise, it's essential for a life of strength and purpose. Let's begin. The foundation of privacy is an essential principle that underpins not only personal growth, but also our ability to function as autonomous, capable individuals in a complex world. In an era where transparency is often mistaken for virtue and oversharing is incentivized by technology, it has become increasingly difficult to discern what should be kept private and why. Yet, this distinction is vital. Privacy is not merely about withholding information, it is about creating a sanctuary for your thoughts, ambitions, and identity. It is about preserving a space where you can truly be yourself without external interference or judgment. Privacy serves as the cornerstone of self-respect. When you set boundaries about what you share and with whom, you are affirming your own worth. You are saying to yourself and the world, I value my experiences, my emotions, and my aspirations enough to protect them. This self-valuation is critical because it directly influences how others perceive and treat you. People often reflect the respect you show yourself. And if you freely hand over the most intimate details of your life, it can diminish their understanding of your value. They might take your openness for granted, or worse, exploit it. Maintaining privacy is crucial for personal growth. Growth is not always linear, nor is it always pretty. The process of becoming, of learning, failing, and trying again is deeply personal. It requires space free from external scrutiny, where you can experiment, reflect, and refine without fear of judgment. When you share these vulnerable moments prematurely or with the wrong audience, you risk diluting their transformative power. The process becomes performative, shaped by the reactions of others rather than your own internal compass. Another significant aspect of privacy is its role in fostering independence. Independence does not mean isolation, rather, it is the ability to make decisions, form opinions, and take actions that align with your core values without being unduly influenced by others. Sharing too much can invite unsolicited advice, criticism, or even manipulation, which can cloud your judgment and derail your path. When you protect certain aspects of your life, you maintain the autonomy to navigate them on your terms. Privacy also plays a vital role in building trust, both with yourself and others. When you practice discretion, you develop a deeper sense of self-trust. You prove to yourself that you can manage your life and its complexities without constantly seeking validation or input. At the same time, you demonstrate to others that you are a person who can be trusted. People are more likely to confide in you and respect your boundaries when they see that you honor your own. The absence of privacy, on the other hand, can lead to a host of negative consequences. Oversharing can erode your sense of security, leaving you vulnerable to criticism, misunderstanding, or even betrayal. It can strain relationships, as others may feel burdened by information they were not prepared to receive or did not ask for. It can also harm your reputation in a world where first impressions are often made online. The details you share can be misinterpreted, taken out of context, or used against you. The most valuable things in life, your health, your relationships, your aspirations, are rarely put on display for the world to see. We lock our homes to protect our belongings, shield our bodies to maintain dignity, and secure our finances to prevent theft. Why, then, should we not exercise the same caution with our inner lives? What we choose to keep private is not a reflection of fear or shame, it is a demonstration of wisdom and self-control. It's important to note that privacy does not mean secrecy in a negative sense. It is not about hiding who you are or withholding information to manipulate others. Instead, privacy is about intentionality. It is about deciding what parts of your life are sacred and treating them with the reverence they deserve. It is about understanding that not everyone is entitled to access your inner world and that setting boundaries is an act of empowerment, not exclusion. Cultivating privacy involves discernment. It means taking a step back before sharing and asking yourself, why am I sharing this? What do I hope to gain? Who am I sharing it with? And are they equipped to receive it with care? These questions may seem simple, but their answers can reveal a great deal about your motivations and the potential impact of your actions. Privacy is not a barrier but a foundation. It supports the structure of your life, allowing you to build upward and outward with confidence. By protecting what matters most, you create a life that is not only resilient but also deeply fulfilling. And in doing so, you remind yourself and the world that some treasures are meant to be kept, nurtured, and revealed only when they are ready. The power of secrets lies in their ability to foster self-mastery, independence, and trust, both within ourselves and in our relationships. Secrets are not inherently negative, rather, they represent those personal truths, ambitions, and vulnerabilities that we choose to safeguard. In a world increasingly dominated by openness and the temptation to share every thought and experience, the deliberate act of keeping certain things private is a profoundly empowering choice. It signifies control over one's narrative and a deeper understanding of how information shapes perception and relationships. When you keep certain aspects of your life to yourself, you strengthen your ability to self-regulate. Life is filled with trials, doubts, and dreams that require quiet reflection to navigate effectively. By choosing not to share every challenge or ambition, you give yourself the space to process these moments internally. This practice fosters resilience because it forces you to rely on your inner resources rather than seeking constant external validation. It teaches you to trust your instincts and strengthens your ability to make decisions without the noise of outside opinions. The act of holding on to a secret also cultivates independence. Independence, at its core, is the ability to stand firm in your identity and make choices that align with your values and aspirations. When you share too much, you risk diluting this independence as your choices and feelings become increasingly influenced by the reactions of others. By keeping certain things private, you preserve the sanctity of your decision-making process, ensuring that your actions remain true to who you are rather than shaped by the expectations or judgments of others. Secrets also play a significant role in building and maintaining trust, both with yourself and with others. To trust yourself is to know that you can handle life's complexities without constantly relying on others for guidance or reassurance. This self-trust is a crucial component of personal growth as it allows you to explore your potential and confront challenges with confidence. When you practice discretion, you reinforce this trust by proving to yourself that you can manage your private thoughts, emotions, and goals responsibly. In relationships, secrets handled wisely can serve as a foundation for deeper trust. This might seem counterintuitive at first. After all, many believe that complete transparency is the hallmark of a strong relationship. However, true trust is not about sharing everything, it's about sharing the right things with the right people. When you exercise discretion, you show that you are mindful of the impact your words and revelations have on others. This mindfulness fosters mutual respect and creates an environment where both parties feel safe to share selectively and authentically. The absence of boundaries around secrets can lead to vulnerability and unintended consequences. Oversharing, especially with those who are not equipped to handle your disclosures, can expose you to misunderstanding, manipulation, or even betrayal. For example, sharing your deepest insecurities with someone who lacks empathy or maturity may lead to those vulnerabilities being exploited. Similarly, divulging your ambitions too freely can attract criticism or jealousy, potentially undermining your motivation and progress. The power of secrets also extends to the realm of social dynamics. In any group, whether it's a workplace, a friendship circle, or a family, the ability to manage information is a sign of emotional intelligence. People respect those who demonstrate discretion because it signals reliability and maturity. Conversely, those who share indiscriminately may be perceived as impulsive or untrustworthy, even if their intentions are innocent. It is important to recognize that secrets are not about deception. They are not tools to manipulate or harm others, nor are they a means of hiding your true self out of shame or fear. Instead, secrets are a form of self-care, a way to protect your inner world and nurture your sense of autonomy. They allow you to create a boundary between your public persona and your private self, ensuring that the latter remains intact and authentic. The act of keeping a secret is also deeply connected to the concept of delayed gratification. By choosing not to share certain details or achievements prematurely, you allow yourself to experience the full depth of those moments without external influence. For instance, holding on to a personal goal or milestone until it has been fully realized enables you to savor the accomplishment without the distractions of others' opinions or expectations. This practice not only enhances your sense of fulfillment, but also reinforces your ability to delay gratification in other areas of life. The power of secrets lies in their ability to help you define and protect your identity. In a world that often pressures us to conform or seek approval, the things you choose to keep private are a declaration of your individuality. They are a reminder that your life is your own, and that not everything needs to be validated or understood by others. Secrets give you the freedom to explore your thoughts, dreams, and challenges in a way that is uniquely yours. The deliberate choice to keep certain things private is an act of self-respect and wisdom. It is a recognition that your life, with all its complexities and nuances, deserves to be handled with care. By understanding and harnessing the power of secrets, you can cultivate a life that is not only more resilient, but also more deeply aligned with your true self. Introducing the core subjects of what must be kept private, those distinct elements of life that demand confidentiality, is both an invitation to reflection and a call to action. These areas are not chosen arbitrarily. They are the foundational aspects of your personal and professional existence that, when shared unwisely, can lead to unintended harm, loss, or diminished potential. They represent the threads of your identity and aspirations, woven together in ways that require protection to retain their strength and integrity. At the heart of this concept is the understanding that not all aspects of our lives are meant to be public. Society today often glorifies openness, mistaking it for authenticity. We're encouraged to share our goals, vulnerabilities, and personal stories as though visibility alone equates to value. But not all moments, emotions, or ambitions benefit from being seen or heard by others. The reality is that some areas of your life gain power and clarity when nurtured privately, free from the influence or scrutiny of external forces. The first area to consider is your ambitions. Goals are inherently fragile in their early stages. They are dreams that have yet to take form, requiring careful attention, planning, and effort to bring to fruition. When you share them prematurely, you expose them to the opinions, doubts, or skepticism of others. Even well-meaning comments can plant seeds of self-doubt or lead you to question the path you've chosen. By keeping your ambitions private, you protect them from being derailed by external input before they are fully developed. Your vulnerabilities are deeply personal and must be shared with care, if at all. Everyone has moments of weakness, insecurities, or fears, but these aspects of yourself should be reserved for those you trust implicitly. Sharing vulnerabilities with the wrong people can leave you open to exploitation or judgment. It's not about hiding who you are. It's about recognizing that not everyone has the capacity or intention to handle your truths with the care they deserve. Financial matters represent another key area that demands discretion. Money is a sensitive topic, often tied to perceptions of success, stability, and worth. Whether you're experiencing financial struggles or enjoying significant prosperity, sharing too much about your financial situation can lead to complications. It can attract envy, pity, or unsolicited advice, all of which can strain relationships or create unnecessary pressure. Financial privacy ensures that your personal or professional choices remain uninfluenced by the expectations or assumptions of others. Mistakes from your past are also critical to consider. Everyone has a history, and within that history are chapters better left closed. Sharing every mistake you've made does not necessarily lead to understanding or connection. In some cases, it can lead to judgment, gossip, or even harm to your reputation. While it's valuable to learn from your past and acknowledge your growth, those lessons are for your benefit and do not need to be shared with everyone you meet. Keeping certain experiences private allows you to maintain control over your narrative and how others perceive you. Your deepest dreams, those aspirations that define your vision for the future, are perhaps the most sacred of all. These dreams are the fuel that drives you forward, giving meaning and purpose to your efforts. Sharing them indiscriminately can dilute their significance, exposing them to the cynicism or disbelief of others. By holding these dreams close, you preserve their potency, allowing them to inspire and guide you without interference. In exploring these areas, the balance between privacy and openness becomes crucial. Privacy is not about shutting people out or creating walls, it's about setting boundaries that protect what matters most. Healthy boundaries enable you to engage with the world meaningfully without compromising your sense of self. They allow you to share selectively, choosing when and with whom to open up in ways that enhance relationships rather than jeopardize them. This practice also requires a degree of self-awareness. To determine what should remain private, you must first understand yourself, your values, priorities, and vulnerabilities. It means asking tough questions. What is the purpose of sharing this? Will it help or hinder me? Is the person I'm sharing with capable of handling this information responsibly? These reflections guide you in safeguarding your inner world while maintaining authentic connections with others. Privacy in these areas also reinforces self-respect. When you choose to keep certain aspects of your life private, you signal to yourself and others that these matters are significant and deserve protection. It's an act of valuing your experiences, recognizing that they are not for public consumption but for personal growth, reflection, and purpose. The 5 key areas that demand confidentiality: ambitions, vulnerabilities, financial matters, past mistakes, and deepest dreams are not about secrecy for its own sake. They are about cultivating a life that is deliberate, thoughtful, and resilient. By safeguarding these elements, you empower yourself to navigate the complexities of life with clarity and strength, ensuring that what truly matters remains intact and untainted by the noise of the outside world. The psychological and social implications of oversharing are profound and often underestimated. At its core, sharing personal information is an act of vulnerability, a way of connecting with others by revealing a part of ourselves. But when this act becomes habitual or indiscriminate, it can lead to unintended consequences that affect not only how others perceive us but also how we perceive ourselves. The boundary between healthy openness and excessive disclosure is thin, and crossing it can have far-reaching implications for our emotional well-being, relationships, and reputation. Oversharing often begins with a desire for connection. Humans are social creatures, wired to seek understanding and validation from others. In a world that increasingly values visibility, the pressure to share personal experiences can feel overwhelming. Social media platforms amplify this dynamic, creating a culture where personal stories are currency traded for likes, comments, and attention. However, this external validation is fleeting and often superficial, leaving many feeling more exposed than empowered after the momentary high fades. One of the most immediate psychological effects of oversharing is a sense of vulnerability. While it's natural to feel exposed after revealing something deeply personal, the impact is magnified when the audience is not prepared to receive the information with empathy or discretion. Oversharing can lead to feelings of regret, shame, or anxiety as you replay the interaction in your mind, questioning how your disclosure was perceived. This emotional toll can erode your sense of security and self-worth, creating a cycle where you feel compelled to share more in search of reassurance, only to feel worse afterward. On a social level, oversharing can disrupt the dynamics of relationships. Sharing too much too soon can overwhelm others, particularly if the information is deeply personal or emotionally charged. Relationships thrive on trust, balance, and mutual respect. When one person consistently overshares, it can create an imbalance, shifting the relationship from a reciprocal exchange to a one-sided dynamic where the listener feels burdened or even alienated. In extreme cases, this can lead to a breakdown in trust, as the listener may question the oversharer's judgment or feel unsure about how to handle the information they've been given. Oversharing also risks undermining your credibility and reputation. People often use the information you share to form opinions about your character, values, and decision-making abilities. While sharing personal experiences can make you appear relatable and genuine, Disclosing too much can have the opposite effect. It can lead to perceptions of impulsiveness, lack of boundaries, or a need for attention. This is particularly true in professional settings, where oversharing can blur the lines between personal and professional identity, potentially damaging your standing or career prospects. Another social consequence of oversharing is the potential for exploitation. Not everyone has your best interests at heart, and sharing sensitive information can leave you vulnerable to those who might use it against you. This can take the form of gossip, manipulation, or even betrayal. For example, sharing a personal struggle with a colleague might lead to unintended consequences if that information is used to question your competence or commitment. The harm isn't always intentional, but the damage can be just as significant. The psychological toll of oversharing also includes its impact on your sense of identity. When you share excessively, especially in public or online spaces, you may find yourself curating your life for an audience rather than living authentically. The pressure to maintain a consistent narrative or persona can create a disconnect between your public and private selves. Over time, this can lead to feelings of emptiness or confusion about who you really are, as your sense of self becomes entangled with how others perceive you. Protecting against these pitfalls doesn't mean closing yourself off completely or avoiding vulnerability. Instead, it's about practicing discernment. Healthy openness involves carefully considering what to share, with whom, and why. It means asking yourself whether the disclosure serves a constructive purpose, such as deepening a relationship, seeking genuine support, or sharing a meaningful lesson. It also requires an understanding of your audience, ensuring that the person you're confiding in has the empathy, maturity, and discretion to handle your disclosure appropriately. Building boundaries around what you share is an act of self-respect and emotional intelligence. It allows you to maintain control over your narrative, choosing how and when to reveal parts of yourself in ways that align with your values and priorities. Boundaries also protect your energy, preventing you from becoming emotionally drained or overwhelmed by the consequences of oversharing. The social benefits of setting boundaries are equally significant. When you share thoughtfully, you create space for meaningful connections based on mutual trust and respect. You also demonstrate emotional maturity, showing others that you value your own privacy and can be trusted with theirs. This strengthens relationships and fosters a sense of safety and balance. The psychological and social implications of oversharing underscore the importance of intentionality in how we communicate. By striking a balance between openness and discretion, you can protect your mental health, preserve your relationships, and ensure that what you share adds value to your life rather than detracting from it. This balance is not about withholding who you are, it's about sharing in ways that empower you to live authentically while safeguarding your peace of mind and personal integrity. The concept of maintaining control over your narrative is one of the most empowering principles in personal and social life. Your story, how you perceive yourself, how others perceive you, and how you navigate the world is a tapestry woven from your experiences, values, goals, and choices. This narrative is deeply personal, and preserving its integrity is crucial for maintaining a sense of autonomy, identity, and purpose. In an age where sharing has become second nature, learning to protect this narrative is more important than ever. Controlling your narrative is about owning your story. It's about deciding how much of yourself you reveal, to whom, and under what circumstances. Your life is yours to define, and that definition should come from within, not be shaped or distorted by external influences. When you fail to exercise control over your narrative, you risk allowing others to misinterpret, misrepresent, or even manipulate your story, which can have profound implications for your relationships, reputation, and self-esteem. One of the most significant ways to maintain control over your narrative is by being intentional about what you share. Not every thought, experience, or achievement needs to be disclosed, especially in environments where your audience may not have your best interests at heart. When you share indiscriminately, you surrender pieces of your story to interpretations beyond your control. This can lead to misunderstandings or misjudgments, as people form opinions based on incomplete or out-of-context information. By keeping certain aspects of your life private, you create a protective barrier around your personal and professional identity. This boundary is not about secrecy, but about discernment. It allows you to share selectively, presenting your story in a way that aligns with your values and objectives. For example, in a professional setting, you might choose to highlight achievements and skills relevant to your role, while leaving personal struggles or unrelated details out of the conversation. This selective sharing ensures that your narrative remains focused and purposeful, reinforcing your credibility and integrity. Another critical aspect of controlling your narrative is timing. The timing of when you share something can significantly impact how it is received and understood. Prematurely revealing a goal, plan, or personal challenge can expose it to unnecessary scrutiny or negativity, potentially derailing your progress. On the other hand, waiting until the right moment when you have clarity, confidence, and a supportive audience can amplify the impact of your disclosure and preserve its intended meaning. Maintaining control over your narrative also involves recognizing the power of silence. Silence is not a sign of weakness or avoidance. It is a strategic choice that allows you to process your experiences, reflect on your intentions, and assess the potential consequences of sharing. Silence creates space for introspection, helping you understand your own story more deeply before sharing it with others. It also prevents you from being reactive, ensuring that your narrative is not shaped by impulsive decisions or external pressures. Controlling your narrative fosters trust and respect. When you exercise discretion in what you share, you demonstrate self-respect and maturity. This, in turn, encourages others to respect your boundaries and view you as a person of integrity. By being deliberate about your disclosures, you also create opportunities for deeper, more meaningful connections. When you share thoughtfully and authentically, others are more likely to engage with your story in a genuine and supportive way. Losing control of your narrative can have significant repercussions. Oversharing or allowing others to dominate your story can lead to feelings of disempowerment as you watch your identity being shaped by forces outside your control. This can create a disconnect between how you see yourself and how others perceive you, eroding your confidence and sense of self. In extreme cases, a distorted narrative can even harm your reputation, relationships, or career prospects. Social media and digital communication amplify these risks. Once you share something online, it is often permanent and can be viewed by unintended audiences. Even well-intentioned posts can be misunderstood or taken out of context, leading to consequences you might not have anticipated. By being mindful of your online presence and choosing what to share with care, you protect your narrative from being misused or misinterpreted. Another critical element of controlling your narrative is learning to manage feedback. When you share your story, especially in public or professional contexts, you invite opinions and reactions. While constructive feedback can be valuable, not all feedback is helpful or relevant. Developing the ability to filter feedback, accepting what aligns with your goals and values while discarding the rest, is essential for maintaining control over your narrative. This skill ensures that your story remains true to your vision, rather than being distorted by the noise of external voices. Controlling your narrative is about empowerment. It's about recognizing that your story is yours to tell, and that you have the right to decide how it unfolds. By being intentional about what, when, and how you share, you take ownership of your life's direction and protect the integrity of your identity. This control allows you to present yourself authentically and confidently, fostering relationships and opportunities that align with your true self. In a world where so much is shared and consumed without thought, the ability to maintain control over your narrative is not just a skill, it is a superpower. The essence of self-respect lies in recognizing the inherent value of your thoughts, emotions, and experiences. This recognition is deeply connected to how much of yourself you choose to share and with whom. In a society that often conflates openness with strength, the act of keeping certain aspects of your life private is a powerful declaration of self-worth. It is a way of affirming that your inner world deserves careful stewardship and that not all aspects of your being are meant for public display or external validation. Self-respect begins with an understanding of your boundaries, those invisible lines that define what is acceptable and what is not in your interactions with others. These boundaries serve as a safeguard, ensuring that you are treated with dignity and that your personal space is honored. When you decide to keep certain details of your life private, you are asserting these boundaries. You are communicating both to yourself and to others that your experiences and emotions are precious and should be treated with care. One of the most profound ways privacy nurtures self-respect is by fostering a sense of autonomy. Autonomy is the ability to make decisions and live in a way that aligns with your values and goals without undue influence from others. By choosing to keep certain things private, you take ownership of your narrative and protect your sense of agency. This autonomy reinforces your belief in your capacity to navigate life's complexities and challenges on your terms, which is a cornerstone of self-respect. Privacy also provides a sanctuary for self-reflection. When you keep certain experiences or thoughts to yourself, you create space to process them without interference or judgment. This reflective space allows you to explore your feelings, understand your motivations, and learn from your experiences in a way that is deeply personal and authentic. It is in this quiet introspection that you build a stronger relationship with yourself, fostering a sense of self-awareness and appreciation that forms the foundation of self-respect. The act of maintaining privacy also demonstrates that you value your emotional energy. Sharing personal information, particularly about struggles or vulnerabilities, can be emotionally draining. When you are selective about what you share and with whom, you conserve your energy for situations and relationships that truly matter. This discernment is an act of self-care, acknowledging that your emotional resources are finite and should be invested wisely. It also signals to others that you take your well-being seriously, which often inspires respect in return. Privacy plays a pivotal role in setting the tone for mutual respect and understanding. When you respect your own boundaries, you encourage others to do the same. Conversely, when you overshare or allow your boundaries to be crossed, it can lead to imbalances in the relationship, where others may take your openness for granted or fail to reciprocate the same level of vulnerability. By maintaining privacy, you model the importance of healthy boundaries, which contributes to relationships that are more balanced and respectful. Self-respect through privacy also protects against the pitfalls of seeking external validation. It is natural to want acknowledgement or support from others, but relying too heavily on external validation can erode your sense of self. When you keep certain aspects of your life private, you affirm that your worth does not depend on the approval or opinions of others. This independence reinforces your self-esteem and enables you to stand firm in your identity, even in the face of criticism or misunderstanding. Maintaining privacy allows you to cultivate a sense of mystery and depth. This is not about being enigmatic for the sake of intrigue, but about preserving the richness of your inner world. When you share selectively, you give others the opportunity to earn your trust and gradually discover who you are. This deliberate sharing deepens connections by ensuring that the people in your life genuinely value and respect the parts of yourself that you choose to reveal. The societal pressure to be transparent often overlooks the importance of discretion as an expression of self-respect. Transparency, while valuable in certain contexts, is not a universal virtue. There are moments and aspects of life that are best kept private, not out of shame or fear, but as an acknowledgement of their significance. For example, sharing your dreams, struggles, or triumphs with the